Wow, liberated living. How good it is to be free. How many in here are free? You free? Good. Because that's the way we're created to be. Is free. You know, only I can lock me up. Only I can throw away the key. You know, it's been interesting to just be present, because I'm realizing that there's where all the information is. Information is letting me know I must do something about either my hair or something. Switch to the handheld? Okay, let's go to the handheld. I'm just going to look like I'm talking to this one. The topic today is living from oneness. And what I'm realizing in a deeper way that it doesn't serve me to operate from some concept of oneness. Living from oneness is something that happens that I realize I just must make myself available to and not try to think about it. You see, because every time I think about it, I realize that I come up with limited purviews of what could be. So my willingness now to live as I'm created to be is bringing up a whole lot of stuff. I was sharing with a few friends of mine that a couple of weeks ago that I had this deep realization that what I really truly needed to forgive myself for was to forgive myself for wanting to be something other than what the Creator created. Now that was deep for me because I don't think there's anything else I can get to that I need to forgive myself for. But that was a deep one, and it had me in tears. I mean, not just dropping tears. I mean, I'm in a full-blown cry. Because I realized that this was it. This is what I really needed to set myself free from. But I realized that when I look at the story, that's been my whole conditioning, though. My whole conditioning was to, okay, what do you want to be? What do you want to be? I have no clue what I want to be. You know, I had started taking a look at the things that I thought I wanted to be. What interested me most was sports, you know. But I chose probably the wrong game that I really wanted to play in, because I loved basketball, but I was a little bit too short for that. Although I could hold my own. See, I could hold my own, but it's having its effect on my body today. Let me put it that way. You see, all that bouncing and running on the concrete, you know, because there wasn't a lot of wood floors that I got to play on growing up. I had to go down to the park, you know, and that was concrete, asphalt. And bouncing up and down, you know, the joints says, hey, I don't think we were created for this. You know, but have fun while you're doing it. You know, and so today my joints are saying, okay, are we finished now? Because I don't think we can do much more. But I'm grateful today because whatever I have done has not stopped me from being present, has not stopped me from being available. See, and when I realized more and more that every experience that I have ever had was the preparation that was necessary to allow me to fulfill the purpose of being here today. How many look back at your experience and you kind of sometimes wish none of that would have happened? However, when I look back at it and made myself available to let go of any judgments of it, I began seeing how it was the preparation necessary for me to be right where I am today. See, all those traumatic things that took place in my experience gave me an opportunity to really feel and allow myself to feel. How many sometimes want to shy away from your feelings? Yeah. However, what I come to realize that in those 90 seconds, those feelings and emotions are bringing me the information that is necessary for me to evolve. You see, and my wishing that they would go away, or my wishing that it never happened, really did not serve me. You see, if it happened, then I had to rely on one thing. God is all that there is. It's the only activity taking place, and that activity is love. So even though I may say that this doesn't feel like love, I had to get to the realization I don't know completely what love is. Because love is one of those qualities that cannot really be known, they can only be experienced. You see? So when I make myself available to experience all of love, I get to see that sometimes, love don't always feel like I think love should feel. However, it's probably the most loving thing that could have ever happened. I mean, identify what I'm talking about. Right. See, so therefore, I'm getting the opportunity now to know and trust that whatever's taking place is taking place not only for my good, but it's taking place for the good of all, because I'm not the only one here. See, there's only one, but that one is being expressed in billions of ways, that each expression is allowed. Where am I having judgments on different expressions and then disrupting my experience? You see? Because anytime I'm having a judgment, the only thing that gets disrupted is me. You see? Those that I'm judging probably don't even know that I'm judging them. And probably if they're enlightened, they don't even care. So we're getting the opportunity to really see that what's taking place is an evolution of this one life, and everybody's playing a part. You see? And I don't know what part somebody is playing and how it's supposed to look, or even how it's supposed to feel with me. I just get this opportunity to trust. If there's only one, and that one is God, what keeps me from trusting Him? See? What I've come to realize in my experience is that when I allow my eyes and ears and five senses to dictate to me what's real, I start falling into a little fear. Let me identify what I'm saying here. You see? But see, my five senses, though, don't dictate to me what's real. My five senses only tell me my perception of what I'm looking at. You see? And what's good about that is that I can change my perception. You see? So no matter what perception I've had on certain things, I get an opportunity to go deeper and inquire from a oneness point of view of the one mind. What I come to realize is that everything is in a divine order, so let me just make myself available to that order instead of judging what it is that I'm seeing. How many judge things and think things are out of order and think they should not have taken place? Where sometimes you have that judgment in the beginning, and then when it pans itself out, you start to say, oh, that was the reason for that. You see? And that was the information that was necessary for me to realize that I need to quit thinking. I need to quit thinking because I don't know enough to think about what's going on. You see? I don't know enough to even think what this perception of this feeling is for me. So, what I've come to realize in accepting this oneness is that I have to let go of thinking, let go of my judgment, and begin trusting. Anybody in here have trust issues? Somebody smiles, okay. See? So therefore, when I look at what it is that I'm going to say I'm going to live by from, the first place I had to look at was this thing that I call God. Do I believe it? Because it's done it to me as I believe.
Yes.
See, do I believe all of what I have or know of God? Or is there certain things that I'm still a little shaky on? And in those areas that I'm still shaky in, do I tend to go to God for an answer, or do I try to figure it out? And if I'm still trying to figure it out, I need to ask myself, how's it working for me? You see? Because see, here's my act of love that I'm showing myself. If I'm coming to the realization that the only thing that is being asked of me is trust, then what reason am I still thinking? Because my thinking is what's causing the issues that I'm experiencing that does not allow me to enjoy this life. See, it's the thought that there could be someone separate from me. It's not a reality. Because there is no separation in the one. You see, it's a thought that makes me believe that someone is better or less than I. Because it's not a reality. It's a thought that makes me think that I am lacking anything, or that I even may have more than someone else. Those are thoughts. And the moment I let go of those thoughts, I come to the realization that there is no separation. We're all one. But if I'm not loving me, then it might be a little difficult to love you. You see. So with that information, I come to realize that the only thing that I should be focused on at this particular moment of this journey is me. Listening to me. So it's not about what anybody else say or don't say, do or don't do. It's about what's my perception of that. Because that's what I'm listening to, and that's what's affecting me. And when I'm coming to realize more and more that the universe only knows perfect peace, harmony, and balance. And I have to realize that being a creation of the Creator, I'm part of that. So it knows how to keep balance. It knows how to keep peace. It knows how to keep balance. And so therefore, I realize these things, these acts of nature, what if it's this way of keeping balance? Hurricanes, earthquakes. What if this is nature's way of cleansing? Fires. I have to come to the realization that the human being is also a part of nature. It's not, what would I say, exclusive. It's not something that is separated from nature, that where when nature comes through, oh, we can't touch the human beings. No. It's going to touch all of it because we're all one. We're all one. The plants, the animals, the birds, the fish, the people, we're all one. I had to take a look at how am I treating the one. You see? Because how I treat myself is how I treat others. And if there's parts of me that I don't like, I'm going to find those parts in others. You see? And when those parts are really big, there's going to be a big separation. I'm just seeing how the world, there's nothing wrong with the world. So the world don't need saving. The world is showing, is expressing, it's revealing, it's exposing everything that needs to be exposed for intelligent beings to make the necessary change. Because evolution is all about change. When there's evolution, change is going to come about. I mean, you're still trying to hold on to what you had 10, 20 years ago. And realize it has no significance here now. What reason am I holding on to? What reason am I telling myself that keeps me from expanding, extending, evolving, and becoming more? I was asked to be reminded of stories. And I've taken a deep look at the stories I've told. How many in here still tell us stories? And I realize there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with telling a story. However, what I've come to realize is that the story has information. And if I'm telling the story and not getting the information, then I'm cheating myself. I'm just telling a story. And everybody got a story. But if everything is in a divine order, this story has information that's necessary for my evolution. And if I don't get that information, then this soul may not be evolving in the way that it can. So I'm taking a deeper look. Deeper look. What did the Creator create in and as who and whose that I am? What did the Creator create? And I've come to realize that man does not know. I can only make myself available to that and watch how it expands. See where I'm having resistance to allowing something to grow and be more. Anybody in here still having resistance? You see? What justification am I giving myself that keeps this resistance in place? See? I need to be listening to me. I need to be watching me. You see? I'm not loving me if I turn on the TV and there's somebody that is saying something that is disturbing and I'm still watching it. Yes. I mean, just totally just getting pissed about what's being said. You know, and it's like, wow. I took a step back and said, Ron, now who's getting upset? And Ron, when you're upset, how available are you to spirit, to love? You see? So that was another way that I realized for myself that I was keeping myself away from God. Allowing myself to be distracted by the external and keeping my attention there. You see? Something came to me earlier this week, and it was always about give unto Caesar that belongs to Caesar, but give to God what belongs to God. You see? How many times have I woken up and realized that my focus is on Caesar, you know, most of the time? But I'm making myself available to miracles? Well, I don't think Caesar brings those about. You see? I must put my attention on that brings these miracles to fruition. See? God is, or God isn't. See? I have to give 100% to God. 99.5% don't work. It's not enough. You know? It's like getting to the pearly gates and can't get in. Total surrender to the oneness that really, truly is. We're all one. We may look different, but we're one. And allowing that oneness to reveal itself in ways far beyond human imagination is what this life is seeking to experience. Can I let God be God through me? And let go of what I think that may look like or even want to look like? You see, there's something about truly making oneself available to the unknown. You know, we were talking about it earlier, how that's what's exciting about life now. See, me step into something I haven't experienced before. Let me step into something my eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. Let me step into that. Instead of always wanting to regurgitate what is being already, dress something up a little different, think I'm going to feel a little different, you know. When in actuality, what's really being asked is to let go. Let go. Let go of what I think. Let go of what I think I know. Let go of what I think I want. Because there's something that is far greater that is seeking to emerge that was already planned. It was planned before I was born. I'm here to fulfill that. But first I had to realize I had to get through the distractions. See? I mean, you realize you could be being distracted from your purpose of being here. See? If I'm trying to be in the world, I might be fulfilling somebody else's purpose. When if I look at the world today, the world is crying out for love. What the Creator created is love. If I'm this creation of love, and the world is crying out for it, what's keeping me from giving it? You see, what keeps me from giving the love that is being cried out for? We're one. What I give to myself, I give to others. When someone is crying out for love, I must give it. And if I find resistance in giving that love, I need to go within and do my work. What's keeping me from giving what I'm here to give? See? Life is such a magnificent place to be now. See? When I realize that I'm not here to be a victim, I'm here to reveal the opportunities, to reveal the face of God, then I began letting go of what it is I think I want. I wanted to be this, I wanted to be that. Society thought I should be this, should be that. Wife wanted me to be this, be that. But my soul already knew what I was here to be. And what I'm realizing that it was going to have its way. So, part of my way of getting here was a drug addiction. See? It was that very thing, that very vehicle that took me to the place of exhausting everything I thought I knew on how to survive. Which was the only next thing to do was to contemplate suicide. But when I realized I got to that place, that there was nothing else, I heard a voice say, about time. About time you gave up what you thought. And now if you're ready to live, just come go with me. Now in that process, what I'm realizing that what goes on, once one has surrendered to God, is the letting go of everything else. You see? And in this letting go, I'm experiencing more than I ever could have imagined. You could have never told me that I would be one that would stand before others and speak. Because my mind was saying, you can't do that. You don't have the education, you don't have this, and you don't have that. But then that voice says, but you got me. And that's all you need. We got what we need within. Turn within and find it, retrieve it. It'll bring you something far greater than you can imagine. And the compensation gives you an opportunity to experience the abundance of the universe. Because the abundance of the universe don't always come with pieces of papers and silver discs. The abundance of the universe comes when you can see the abundance of smiles that show up when you show up. Allow God to be God. Something eyes have not seen and ears have not heard yet. Thank you for letting me share. So can the ushers come forward? This is time for our offering. And we're giving from a place of abundance, knowing that God is our source and supply. So everything that is given from a place of overflow, is given from a place that is never exhausted. And we allow that to reveal itself in our experience now. We give, knowing that what we give is returned tenfold. We thank you, God, for the blessings that are about to be bestowed upon us. We know that this currency, the circulation of this currency, is given for the evolution of thy work. I know Soul Center in Orange County is fulfilling thy purpose, thy work. So I'm grateful and thankful for all the blessings that have been bestowed upon them in currency, in gifts. And so it is, amen.